2024, now is your time to get your very first wholesale deal. What's up YouTube, Biz Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you all step by step. I have a step-by-step guide teaching you all how to get that very first wholesale deal. And during each step, I'm actually going to drill into my computer, share my screen with you all, and show you all and teach you all that very step so you all can have a complete guide for this year to getting your very first wholesale deal. Now, I just want to start off by explaining what wholesale real estate is. It's a very niche part of real estate investing as a whole. A lot of people haven't heard of wholesale real estate, and even when I explain to friends and family what I do, they're still confused about what it is. And so hopefully I can simplify it for you all. So wholesale real estate is essentially putting a property under contract and selling that contract over to an investor. So you put a property under contract as the seller, but before you close on it, you're all like, I don't want this property anymore. I'm not going to close. I'm not going to bring any money to close on this property. Instead, I'm going to have somebody else close on it on my behalf, and I'm going to charge a fee for that contract. And so that's essentially what wholesale real estate is. The challenging part is obviously finding properties that you can get at a discount that you're able to sell at a slight premium in order to get that assignment fee and sell it off to another investor who's also looking for a discount on the property. Now, in my journey of wholesale real estate, I learned the process A to Z on how to get my very first wholesale deal. It actually took me about 8 months to get my very first wholesale deal. And so hopefully this guide can shorten that time for most of you all, because you all can learn from my mistakes and learn what I know on how to get deals on a consistent basis so you can get your first deal faster. Now I'm about to share my screen with you all and show you all step by step how to wholesale real estate. But before we do that, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and comment down below. I usually respond to questions down below. All right, the very first step to getting your very first wholesale deal is to get leads. Leads are the bloodline to your real estate investing, wholesaling business. You have to get leads. Leads are essentially seller contacts. Which sellers are interested, which are not that interested, which leads you should throw away completely. Those are leads essentially. And so you need to get more and more contacts in. You need to build a spreadsheet of people that you need to follow up with in order to see if they're looking to sell their property. Now I'm going to show you all a few different ways that you can get leads. Now this is the very first step, so make sure you all take notes. All right, so I'm here on PropStream. PropStream is a software that you can find leads, seller leads. And so what I'm going to do here, I picked a random city, Charlotte, North Carolina, and the type of sellers that you want to look for are people that are in distressed situations, or maybe it's a vacant property. And one of the biggest lists that a lot of investors go towards, and I honestly like this list, even though it's broad, it's general. I got in a lot of deals from this list, and this is a tire landlord list. The good thing about PropStream is that they have a lot of these pre-populated lists that you can just click on. But I like to drill into the filters to really magnify what I want my list to look like. And if you're interested in PropStream, check my link down below. You get a 7 free day trial using my link, and it just helps support this channel. So please be sure to hit that link down below. So what I'm going to do right here, owner occupied, I'm going to put no, because this is a landlord. They don't live in their property. And then I'm going to put vacant also. So that's 2 layers. Look, we're already down to 2752. Now, property characteristics, I'm going to just put residential for that. And then MLS status, I don't want it on the market, so I'm going to put no. That shouldn't change much. And then ownership information, all types, well, I'm going to put individual because I want to contact individual owners. You can do corporate, but as long as you can send them a mail, I'll just keep it an individual. Now, valuation and equity is super important, because the more equity they have, the more you can do a cash type of assignment fee. Now, there are other ways to wholesale properties with no equity at all, but in this video, we're concentrating on your standard traditional cash assignment wholesale fee. And so equity, I'm just going to put 30%. I want them to have at least 30% equity on their properties. And right here, you have a list of 700 properties. So this is very niche, very filtered down, that you can target and find sellers. And so with this, you can, on this software, you can download that list into an Excel sheet and actually pull it into like CoCalling service or a skip tracing service, so you can draw their phone numbers. But the good thing about this platform is that that, you can do all of that directly on here. You can skip trace, which is essentially getting their phone numbers. And you can do that all from here. So make sure you check out my link down below for PropStream. Another way to get leads is to drive for dollars. Now, this is one of the best way to get leads as a beginner, because I believe that it's so important for a beginner to go out there in the field, to know how it feels to like look at properties and see, oh, this is a sign of distress. The neighbor's mailbox is full, grass is high, the roof looks old, it looks vacant. And that's very important in your learning process in this journey. And so driving for dollars is essentially looking for those type of properties in a specific type of area. So if you're wholesaling around your area, you can just drive around, see, oh, that property may or may not need it. And then you can either just write a note on Google Maps. You can also just save properties on Google Maps on your Google Maps app, and you can create a folder of those type of properties. And I'll just label it like driving for dollar properties, this zip code, this neighborhood. And if you're doing this virtually, you don't have to drive for dollars, right? You can hire someone to drive for dollars for you in that area, or you can use Google Maps, use the different feature that they have that you can like go on the road yourself. That gets a little bit complicated, but that's one way you can do it if you're doing it virtually. And of course, pulling a list from PropStream is another great way to do it if you're doing it virtually. But I do recommend beginners to start in their own backyard. But I understand that some markets are just crazy, it's mad expensive, you're a beginner, it's hard, and so I understand that too. Another way to get leads is to look on the MLS, right? You have to just look on Realtors, Zillow, all these different places and look for distressed properties. Maybe look at properties that's been on the market for over 90 days. Look at properties that are super distressed and has been listed for many days. Usually those type of sellers are interested in selling. And to work with realtors, you just let them know, hey, yes, I could put this property under contract. You know, there has to be an assignment clause in this contract or something of that nature. And just let them know what you're doing. You know, I'm trying to find a cash buyer. And a lot of realtors, you know, they may not like it. And a lot of realtors may understand what you're doing. They worked with wholesalers before and they're able to be like, hey, if you're going to get me a buyer and I still make my commission, hey, I'll work with you. Other options is to like go to the probate office, maybe work with your title company to get lists from them because they have a bunch of information. And by the way, probates are usually properties that are being inherited. And so a lot of times when people inherit properties, they just want to sell it. They don't care to really live in it or to flip it. And so most likely they may be looking to sell it even at a discount. So that's one way that you can get a fat, juicy wholesale deal. Now that you got in your lead, the second step is to market. You have to do something with those leads, with those contacts. Now, the different ways that you can market is number one, you can cold call. Cold call is essentially calling someone that have never heard your voice or seen your number before. That's what it's called, cold. And you're saying, hey, do you own this property? Are you interested in selling? No? Okay, thank you for your time. Bye. You just go down that list of contacts. After you skip trace is finding the phone numbers. Use different softwares. There's batch skip tracing. There's also PropStream, like I explained before, where you can get their phone numbers. And then you call their phone number, just see if they're looking to sell. Another way to market is to do direct mail. During my time with wholesaling, and I definitely slowed down with wholesaling, my main concentration is more like long-term rentals. I'm working on the flip right now. And so everything that I learned from wholesaling, I'm applying there to get discounted properties and also just understanding the whole process of real estate investing. But right now, I wouldn't say some wholesaling is a part of my business, but real estate investing is. But wholesaling was definitely the base, the foundation of everything. And so I know a lot of people in my situation didn't have the money for a down payment, didn't have the expertise or the knowledge to flip. And so they want to start with wholesaling so they can get some capital in order to go that route, to take that route into the next few steps or the next steps in their real estate investing journey. But anyway, I was able to market through direct mail. And in my region, in my area, it actually worked. And you just have to understand your market. I think in some areas, texting people works better. Sometimes radio ads work better. And those are other forms of marketing techniques. You can do voicemail drops and Google ads and TV ads. And so these are the different ways that you can market and try to reach out to sellers. Now, the third step is to make an appointment with a seller. So now that we got in our leads, you made some cold calls or you have some direct mails and people called you back or people called off of your Google ad and they're interested in selling. Well, you have to go view the property now. You have to meet with the seller. And this can be a daunting part for a lot of beginners, but you have to understand you have to approach it like, hey, I'm talking to another human being. Yes, they have this huge asset and it's expensive, but just, understand that this is another human being. You're trying to be pleasant. You're trying to be even agreeable at times and also build rapport with this person. And so before you do that, you have to call that person and engage if they're interested before making an appointment. And so before making an appointment, you have to CoCall. And I do have a CoCall script, CoCall, criteria that I like to go through, and I'll show you that right now over the screen. So here it is. This is my CoCalling seller script information. And so this is the info that you need. Are they interested in selling? The condition of the property, timeline to sell, why are they interested in selling, and their price. Now, this is heavily inspired by Brent Daniels, TTP. You all probably heard him before, but he really, spearheaded like this cold call script or what you need. Now, when you're talking on the phone, things may change, conversation may lean or go towards a different direction, and you just kind of go with the flow, but still control it to get what you actually need from the seller. And so right here, I have a whole cold call script, but I can't show you everything because this is actually in my wholesale real estate course. And for this video, I'm actually doing a limited time promotion. I'm giving you guys $100 off my script, and it's already an affordable course for a online course. All right, online courses be costing thousands of dollars, but mine is nowhere near that, and I'm giving you guys $100 off. And so this is limited time. I may only keep it open for this month, but after that it may be over afterwards. So please check it down below. You click the link, it'll take you directly to the checkout page with the discount already applied. And so if you happen just to browse my website and then you click on it, the code is 2024. So please check it out down below if you're interested in like this whole cold call script and just every single step-by-step detail and plan that I have for wholesale real estate. I have PDFs, and of course there are videos. I have videos of me going through things. I have seller appointments that I never posted, cold calls and different things like that. So it's filled with a lot of information, goes way more in depth in my YouTube video. So if you're interested, check my course down below. Now I'll give you guys another hint. So this is another PDF from this course. So best practices. So I say dedicate a time every week to call. It may be 1 hour a day at 7 p.m., whatever fits your schedule. Stick with the time and do not miss your scheduled calls. Try to hit at least the landline and the first sell the first round. Try to hit at least 3 times and go to the second or third sell. So, with skip tracing, they give you a list of numbers for a contact. And usually that first number is their main number. And then they have landline and their cell number. Always hit the first cell and hit the first landline. Of course, older people still use landlines, and even just younger people, families, they have landlines. And so you still have to hit those numbers too. Please check out my course if you're interested down below. All right, so making the appointment, you cold call them, they're interested, now you're meeting with them. You have to run comps even before that too. And running comps can be a little bit difficult, but I have several videos running comps. I'll put one link down below on the video somewhere, but running comps is essentially looking at properties that sold around your area that's renovated, and then you take that number, you multiply it by 70%, and then you minus your repairs. Calculating repairs, you're a beginner. How do you know how to calculate repairs? It's different for each one. I'd say you could talk to your investors, you can talk to your cash buyers, and it just depends. If it's cosmetic for a over 1,200 square foot property, you're looking between $35,000 to $60,000. It just depends. Just try to get the property as affordable as you can. Meet with the seller, negotiate, talk about price, see what they're looking for, keep on building rapport. And it's important, you're not virtually wholesaling, but you're wholesaling in person. I think this is great for a beginner. Once again, you're in the field, you're talking with sellers, you're overcoming that fear of being right in front of somebody and talking about properties. You're talking about this and that. And it's crazy, like a lot of beginners go through this, and the sellers, I don't know, like they see the nervousness, they see the hesitation, they see the rookie, right? They see the newness of this person, and they have this large assets, probably the largest purchase and sell that they'll ever make in their life, but they're still willing to work with young people or just beginners who don't know or don't even sound like they know much about it and sign a contract. And so that's the next step. Step number 4 is to put the property under contract. And so just saying all of that, don't worry, like, yes, this is a big deal, but people are willing to work with people. You can do this. If I was able to do it without understanding completely everything on that appointment where I actually closed on the deal, like, you can do it too. Now put the property under contract. All right, so here I have a copy of my purchase and sales agreement. I do have a copy of that. I'll put it down below if you all are interested in my contract. It's a simple one-page contract that I use for all my real estate transactions. Wholesale, I actually use this for a flip that I'm working on. But right here, I have, this is my assignment one, and the one you download is actually going to have an assignment. This one doesn't because I actually use this one for my flip, but all it would have is I'll just put another disclosure and have assignment disclosure. So it looks something like that. And then, yeah, you can put the property under contract. Best practices is to make sure you're clear about what's happening with the property. You know, let them know, hey, closing is within 30 to 45 days. If you think you need more time to find a cash buyer, say 60 days. Or if there's title confusion or if you're hesitant about it, you know, make sure you delay that closing time a little bit longer. All right, so now another thing that you have to consider is that you have to have days that your cash buyers can walk the property. So when you get that property under contract, you let them know, hey, I need a day or two. How can I access this property? Whether it's a vacant property or they live there, because I need 1 or 2 days that I can walk with my investors and their contractors, that they can just look and estimate how much it would cost for them and things of that nature. And you use that time to show your cash buyers those properties. You set up like these showing days. And of course, you're always marketing the contract, because you can't market properties because you're not licensed. If you're not licensed, you market, hey, I have this assignable contract in your marketing techniques, whether you're sending out emails, texts, or calling cash buyers. And that brings me to the 5th point, is to find cash buyers. Finding cash buyers, you can use PropStream and you can cold call that list. And I'll show you right now how to find cash buyers on PropStream. Now we're still in North Carolina, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear out this other one. And once again, they have cash buyer, I believe they have a cash buyers right here that you can look for. I don't know why it's not working, but let me just draw. Boom. That's another thing about PropStream. You can draw and then you can search. Now with this, go to filters and you can just click cash buyers. You have cash buyers, but that's too many people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put no, vacant, ownership information. I'm going to put, you can do either or, but I'll just do individual so I can easily find their phone number. And the evaluation and equity, I'm going to put 99. And then you have 583. And another thing is I want to have minimum years of ownership. I want them to not own it a maximum of 1 year. So they bought the property within 1 year. And you have 18 cash buyers. There should be more in this area and other areas, but that's essentially how you find cash buyers. And another thing that I failed to mention is, like, if you're looking for sellers, this is looking for cash buyers, but when you're looking for sellers, you're going to put a minimum of like 5 years, because you want them to own the property for a couple years so they can build some equity and like have enough time that their property can be appraised and grow in value in order for them to be able to sell it and know that they're able to come out and make some money out of it. The other way to find cash buyers is by using Facebook. Facebook groups, there's a lot of RIA Facebook groups, and a lot of wholesalers say, hey, I'm a wholesaler, cash buyers, leave your emails down below. Usually in groups, there's a search bar or search icon that you can search posts in the past, and you can just put cash buyers and it'll pull up all the posts about cash buyers. And in those comments, those cash buyers leave their emails. And that's a great way. I found cash buyers using that way. And another thing, you can actually use Facebook Marketplace, you know, put pictures of the house, but always market that, hey, I'm marketing the assignable contract. You can also use Zillow to find cash buyers. I've used this before, and I made a video recently about it. Essentially, in that way, all you would do is just look at Zillow, look at properties that's been recently renovated, and then you'll contact the realtor to know the cash buyer, or you can also go on the county's website, put in that address, and find that cash buyer. If the property is currently being listed, then it's being listed by a cash buyer. And you can look at the transaction history in Zillow or use PropStream to see, okay, they recently bought this and they bought it for this much, now they're selling it for this much. This proves that it's an investor, cash buyer looking to sell. Now, the 6th and final step to getting your very first wholesale deal is to find a title company. All you do is Google search title companies, and then you just cold call all of those title companies and ask them, do you do assignments? Do you do double closes? If they say yes, they are your title companies. That's the easiest and simple way to do it. Another way, just talk to another wholesaler, talk to another investor. Most likely another wholesaler. They're not trying to gatekeep that information. So ask them and use the one, hit them up, boom. Send the contract over to the title company, schedule a time to close on the property, stay on top of that, email them, say, hey, is the title search clean? When can we close? Set a closing date. Usually they set a closing date for the closing closing date that you put on your contract. And then from there, you set up a time. You can go to the closing. They'll give you your check. Seller gets their check. The buyer gets their property. All right, you all, 2024, get your very first wholesale deal. This was a step-by-step guide. I hope you all took notes. Make sure you all like this video, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know if you gotten your very first wholesale deal, and I'll feature you on this channel for an interview, and you can inspire other people to getting their very first wholesale deal.